Hello all. Welcome to Physics Online Classes. Chapter is Motion in a Plane, lecture number 4. Students, in the previous class, we were discussing about addition of vectors. How to add a given vector in same direction, how to add the given vector in opposite direction. If two vectors are inclined each other, then how to add, already we have seen. See here, already we said that if two vectors are in same direction, they can add it simply r equal to a plus b or r equal to p plus q. But in opposite direction, r equal to p minus q or r equal to a minus b. But we said that vector should not added by simple algebra. Right? How to add the given vector actually? Shall I remind some concepts concerned to last video? Look at me. The concept is addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. Right. Look at how to get actually. Now let us shall I take the two vectors. If two vectors are parallel to each other. See here. How they are? Shall I take it is one vector? Shall I call this vector as p vector? Right. Now I will take one more vector. This is one more vector. Shall I call this? This is nothing but q vector. Right. Here two vectors are in same direction. Then how to add the given vectors? The given vector can be represented by resultant vector. Resultant vector shall I take it is r. Right? How to write the r actually? R can be written that is a p plus q. R equal to p plus q. And how to represent the resultant vector? The resultant vector is along the direction in the same vector. This is the resultant vector. Shall I take this one? Right. If two vectors are in opposite direction, either equal magnitude or unequal magnitude. Shall we see that? Look at it here. How to take? It is a one vector. Shall I call this vector as p? Now I will take. This is one vector. What I will take? This is the vector q. Right. Now in this case, how to add actually? This vector is in negative direction, it is in opposite direction. That's what I will take. This vector is a negative vector, minus q. Then how to add? The resultant vector can be given. Resultant vector can be given r. R equal to how to write? R equal to actually q plus a p plus a q. But it is minus is there. Q is the minus. Because it is in negative direction. Then directly I will take the resultant vector r can be taken. Resultant vector r can be taken p minus q. P minus q. Right. Then how to represent resultant vector? Resultant vector r can be represented along the greater magnitude vector. See here. This is the resultant vector. Shall I take this? This is the r. R can this is the r value. This is the r value. Right. But already we have seen if two vectors are inclined each other. Shall I take here? This is one vector. Vector p I will take. Right. Now I will take this is one more vector. This is one more vector. Right. Then how to add actually this vector? Actually this vector can be added by like this. By making a third side of triangle in opposite order. Like this. Shall I take this? This is equal to r. R equal to how to write? R equal to vector p plus vector q. But students, confuse may arise. Vector should not added by simple algebra. But we are adding the vector here by simple algebra. Confuse may arise. Right? To answer this question, again let us move the addition of vectors. Right? How r is equal to p plus q, how r is equal to p minus q, and how r is equal to p plus q by making triangle. This we will explain then further concept. I mean, any vectors can be added by three laws. Those laws we are calling laws of vectors. Actually, vector can be added by three laws. The first law is triangle law of addition of vector, parallelogram law of addition of vector, and polygon law of addition of vector. Each method we will learn in detail. See here. What I am going to say? The vector can be added by three laws. Vector can be added by three laws. One is vector can be added by three laws. First one is triangle law of addition of vectors. Triangle law of addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. Second one is parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Parallelogram law of addition of vector. Parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Next one, third one, polygon law of addition of vector. Polygon law of addition of vector. Addition of vector. Polygon law of addition of vector. By three laws, the vector can be added. Now let us see, students, in detail concern to triangle, parallelogram and polygon. Shall I go the first law? The law we are calling triangle law of addition of vector. The first law is triangle law of addition of vector. Shall we see this? Triangle law of addition of vectors. Triangle law of addition of vectors. That's right. The triangle of addition of vector, it helps to find the resultant of two vectors. I mean, two vectors are given, they can be added by resultant vector, that can be represented by triangle of addition of vector. Simply, the triangle of addition of vector helps to find the resultant of two vectors. Students, to understand the concept of triangle of addition of vector, we should know about the same order and opposite order of two vectors. Same order and opposite order of two vectors or reverse order of vectors. Look at me, I will take two vectors here. Shall I take? It is vector A. Vector A I will take, right? And I will take one more vector in another direction. Shall I take this? This vector is B, right? These vectors are said to be in same order and in reverse order. Same order mean if head of the one vector coincides with the tail of the another vector, then we are calling same order. Same order means, look at me, if head of the one vector, shall I follow it? Head of the one vector coincides with the tail of the another vector, then they are in same order. What you are calling? This is the same order. Same order. Simply head coinciding with the tail. This we are calling same order. Reverse order or opposite order mean head of the one vector coincides with head of the one vector another vector, or tail of the one vector coincides with the tail of the another vector. This we are calling reverse order. How the reverse order looks like? Shall we see here? Look at me. If this is vector A, this is the vector A, right? I will take like this, right? What about this vector? This vector shall I represent by V vector, right? Then what happens? Head of the one vector coincides with the head of the another vector, or possibility like this also. This is one vector, tail of the one vector. Tail of the one vector coincides with the tail of the another vector. This we are calling reverse order. These both. What are calling? These both we are calling reverse order. So to understand the concept of triangle of addition of vector, we should know about same order and opposite order, right, students? Then after this, let us go the statement of triangle of addition of vector and we will explain it in detail, right? Shall I go here? Triangle of addition of vectors. Look at me, students, here. The statement says that triangle of addition of vector, if two vectors represented by two sides of triangle both in magnitude and direction in same order, the resultant of two vector is represented by third side of triangle in reverse order both in magnitude and direction. What I says? if two vectors represented by two sides of triangle in same order, the third side of triangle represent both in magnitude and direction, third side of triangle represent both in magnitude and direction, that gives the resultant vector in reverse order. This is triangle of addition of vector. Shall I go the statement, then we will explain in detail. Look at me, what about the statement here? Statement. Statement. Look at me. Alright. If two vectors represents two vectors represents both in magnitude and direction, both in magnitude and direction, magnitude and direction, by two sides of triangle, two sides of triangle in same order, then the resultant of two vectors is represented by third side of triangle, both in magnitude and direction, in reverse order, See here, what is the statement? If two vectors represents both in magnitude and direction by two sides of triangle in same order, resultant of two vectors represented by third side of triangle both in magnitude and direction in reverse order. Let us understand this statement. Students, I will take two vectors, the P and Q, which are in orient in different direction. Shall we take here? Look at me. This is one vector. Shall I call this is the one vector? This is P vector. Right. Shall I take the one more vector in this direction? This is one more vector. I will call this vector is Q vector. Right. How to add? Two vectors represented by two sides of triangle in same order. Two vectors represents both in magnitude and direction by two sides of triangle in same order. Shall I take in same order two vectors? Look at me here. This is one vector. I will call P is the one vector. Look at me. P is the one vector. P is the one vector. Shall I do the Q vector in this direction? I will call Q. This is the one vector. Are you following? Head is coinciding with the tail. Then two vectors are in same order. Look at me in the statement. Two vectors represent both in magnitude and direction by two sides of triangle in same order. Two vectors are in same order. Right. Then the resultant of two vectors represent by third side of triangle in opposite order. Opposite order means if you take third side of triangle like this, this is the third side of triangle in reverse order. Shall I take this one? This one I will call this is R vector. This is the R vector in this direction. Right? Tail is coinciding with the tail, head is coinciding with head. This is the reverse order. What we are taking? Two vectors represented by two sides of triangle in same order. Resultant of two vector represented by third side of triangle in the reverse order. Directly, shall I write this one? This is the sum of vector. Resultant vector equal to how much? Resultant vector is equal to vector P plus vector Q. This is triangle of addition of vector. Are you following? Or you can choose in alternating manner also. I am taking first P then after Q. Actually, how to do actually? This is in anti-clockwise direction I am taking. Anti-clockwise direction like this. But what about resultant vector? Resultant vector goes in clockwise direction. If resultant is in clockwise, what about this to P and Q in anti-clockwise direction? Shall I make it in reverse manner? Reverse means, shall I take first Q? This is vector Q I will take. This is the vector Q. Then how to choose the vector P? Vector P can be choose like this. This is the vector P. Then what is the statement? Two vectors represent both magnitude and direction by two sides of triangle in same order. Then resultant represent by third side of triangle in opposite order. Third side of triangle in opposite order. What about this? This is equal to R. Again R how to write? R can be written. R equal to how much? R equal to Q plus P. R equal to Q plus P. Both are the same. R equal to P plus Q and R equal to Q plus P. Q and P are in anti-clockwise direction. What about R? R goes in clockwise direction. Are you following, students? So this is what concern to triangle of addition of vectors. But here two vectors are in same order, third vector is in opposite order. If you take all three vectors are in order, then what happens? See here, I will choose this vector. Shall I take this vector now? This is one vector I will take. This is P vector, right? What about this vector? This vector I will take Q vector. Now resultant vector actually how to represent? This is the resultant vector. This is the R. Now look at this situation. I am taking in the same order. This is in opposite order or this is in opposite order. Shall I choose this one? Now I will make this vector R in same order. I will take. Right? This is O point I can call. This is A point I can call. What about this point? This is the P point I can call. Look at me how the directions are there. Head is coinciding with the tail. Head is coinciding with the tail. I mean, if three vectors are in order, the resultant is 0. I mean, the total vector sum is 0. Sum is 0 means how to write actually? Shall I take this one actually? Vector R plus vector P plus vector Q must be equal to 0. I mean, if three vectors are in same order, all are in same order actually. They are in same order. For same order, the sum is 0. When sum is 0, these vectors are said to be in equilibrium. What I can say? When sum is 0, all vectors are sum is 0, then all vectors you can say they are in equilibrium condition. What you can call? This vector equilibrium condition you can call. Equilibrium means the sum of all vector must be 0. Look at me, difference between this diagram and this diagram actually. P and Q and P are in the same order. P and Q are in the same order. What about R? R is in reverse order. But look at it here. P is same order, Q same order, R also same order. If three vectors are in the same order, then we can represent the sum of all vector is 0. Then that condition we are calling equilibrium condition. I will take this coordinate. So many forces I will take like this. When forces are acting at different points, then sum is 0. You can represent. How to represent? Shall I take actually? I will take this is one force. This is one force I can call. This force is nothing but F1 force. Right? Now I will take. This is one more force I will take. Right? What about this? This force is equal to F2 force. Right? Now I will choose. I will choose like this. Like this I will choose. What about this force? This force is equal to F3. Head is coinciding with the tail, or I can take the reverse like this also. Look at me how to take. See here. I will take like this I will take. This is F1 force I will take. F1 force, right? Shall I take this force? This force I will take F2 force. F2 force in this direction. Now shall I make it? I will take like this. Look at me. I will take like this. This is F3 force. F3 force. How this is? F2 actually in this direction. F2 is in this direction. This is the F2. What about this F1? See here. Head is coinciding with the tail. Again head is coinciding with the tail. Head is coinciding with the tail like this. Like this situation. This vector in this direction. F3 is there. F1 is there. F2 is there. Right? Head is coinciding with the tail. Here head is coinciding with the tail. Head is coinciding with the tail. Then what you can call here? The sum of the all force. How much? F1 plus F2 plus F3 equal to 0. Equal to 0. Right? I mean, force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. If all vectors are 0, sum of all vectors are 0, then you can call this force are said to be in equilibrium condition. Like this. All are in same order. If 3 vectors are in same order, I mean force is in same order, 3 forces are in same order, you can define one more law here. That law we are calling Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem. What Lami's theorem says? That we will see, students. In detail we will see here Lami's theorem. What is meant by the Lami's theorem? This is what concerned to triangle of addition of vector, and this is what 3 vectors are in same order, then definitely sum is 0. Then we are calling equilibrium condition. What we are calling? Equilibrium condition. Now shall I go directly here? Look at after this. After this shall I go? Lami's theorem. Lami's law we are calling, or Lami's theorem we can call directly. See here, Lami's theorem. Or Lami's law we can call. Right. Students, force is a vector quantity. I will act the force in a different direction such that the resultant is 0. When the resultant is 0, if all 3 vectors, if they are in same order, then resultant is 0. Shall I take this one? How to add actually? I will take this is one force. Force is a vector quantity. I will take this is F1. Right. Now shall I take the one more force I will take in this direction. This direction I will take this force. Right. What about this force? This force I will take F2. Right. Now what about the third force I will take? In this direction I am taking, in this direction. Shall I take this force? This force I will take, in this direction I will take, in this direction. What about this force? This force is equal to F3. Look at me here in this direction. So what happens? Look at me here. What you can conclude from this? F1 is in direction, F2 is in direction. What about F3? F3 is in this direction. In this direction. Head is coinciding with the tail. Again, head is coinciding with the tail. Head is coinciding with the tail. All 3 vectors are in same order. All 3 vectors are in same order. If all 3 vectors are in same order, then how do I write? F1 plus F2 plus F3 must be equal to 0. Already we said that. If 3 vectors are in same order, sum is 0. Then these forces are said in equilibrium condition. How to call actually? This F2 may be going in this direction. F1 started from here. Right. Actually, this is the direction of F2. This is the direction of F2. And what is the direction of F3? This is the direction of F3. I will rearrange this diagram, students. By taking the rearrangement, what you can call? You can define the Lami's theorem in special manner. Look at here. See here. I will take. In one direction this force is acting. In this direction this force is acting. Shall I call? I will take a point. See here. This is one force I can call. Correct? What about this force? This force equal to F1. Shall I call this force? This force. what I will take? This force I will call F2. One more force is there. How it is acting? It is acting in one direction, downward direction. Now shall I take this one? This one I will take. What about this? This is nothing but F3. Right? I mean, sum of all forces are 0. Sum of all vectors are 0 if they are in the same order. If they are in the same order. Look at me here. There are 3 forces acting at a point. 3 forces acting at a point. If number of forces acting at a point, then those forces are said to be concurrent forces. Here, what is concurrent forces? Number of vectors acting at a point in a different direction. This we are calling concurrent forces. And all 3 vectors are lying in plane. They are lying in a plane. I mean, these forces we are calling coplanar forces. Coplanar concurrent forces. Coplanar and concurrent forces. Look at me, students, here. This is the direction of F1. In between F2 and F1. What angle is there in between F1 and F3? In between F1 and F3, alpha angle is available. Are you following? Right? See here, one more. In between F2 is this is the F2 direction. In between F1 and F3, what angle is available? In between F1 and F3, how much angle available? Beta angle available. Right? In between F2 and F3, alpha angle available. In between F1 and F3, beta angle available. Similarly, this is the direction of F3. If this is the direction of F3, in between F1 and F2, how much angle available here? How much angle available? Gamma angle is available. Are you following this? Students, what I am going to say? If this is the direction of F1, then alpha is angle between F2 and F3. If this is the direction of F2, then in between F1 and F3, beta is the angle. Right? Right or not? Then, if this is the direction of F3, in between F1 and F2, gamma angle is available. What Lamy says? Lamy says that the force F1 directly proportional to sine of angle between F2 and F3. Magnitude of each force directly proportional to sine of angle between 2 other forces. Why? What it says? Magnitude of F1 directly proportional to sine of angle between F2 and F3. F2 and F3. Look at here. This angle I am taking. According to Lamy, what Lamy says? The magnitude of F1 directly proportional to sine of angle between F2 and F3. Right? Or magnitude of F1 equal to some constant into sine alpha. Right? Similarly, shall I take this one? Equation number 1. What it says? F1 directly proportional to sine alpha. Similarly, students, here, look at it. This is F2. F2 directly proportional to sine of angle between F1 and F2. This is F1 and F2. This is the force F2. Right? How to take here? The force F2 directly proportional to sine of angle between F1 and F3. Right? Right or wrong? Or what you can call? Magnitude of F2 equal to some constant into sine beta. Shall I call this? Equation number 2. Right? Are you following me, students? One more force is remaining. Which one is there? F3 is remaining now. F3 directly proportional to sine of angle between F1 and F2. Similarly, you can write. In what manner you can write? F3 directly proportional to sine of angle between F1 and F2. That is gamma is there. Or you can write. In what way you can write? F3 equal to. What is F3 then? F3 equal to how to write? F3 equal to constant into gamma. Constant is the A. A we are calling proportionality constant. Right, student? Then from equation 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. What you can write? From equation 1, how to write? From equation 1, K is equal to F divided by sine alpha. From this K is equal to F divided by sine alpha. From equation 2, how to write? Or f1 divided by sin alpha. From equation 2, how to write? From equation 2, k is equal to f2 divided by sin beta. Right? From equation 3, k is equal to f3 divided by how much? Sin gamma. All are the constant. All are the constant. Right? Then what you can say? From this what you can write? Here k, here compare all these three. What you can write here? f1 divided by sin alpha equal to f2 divided by sin beta. f2 divided by sin beta equal to f3 divided by sin gamma. This is the Lami's theorem. f1 divided by sin alpha equal to f2 divided by sin beta equal to f3 divided by sin gamma. What is meaning of this? See here. Here three forces are in equilibrium. Three forces are in equilibrium. First, equilibrium means the sum of all forces are zero. Sum of all forces are, then it is called an equilibrium condition. Are you following me? And one thing is that all the forces are said to be coplanar. Coplanar means all the forces are lying in same plane. And all the forces are acting at a point. This we are calling concurrent forces. This is acting at this point, acting at this point, acting at this point. Then what can call? Magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two remaining forces. Magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. I mean, magnitude of this force directly proportional to sine of angle between f3 and f2. Are you following? Or shall I take this one? f2 is there. f2 directly proportional to sine of angle between f1 and f3. f1 and f3 beta. Right, students? Or what can call f3 here? This is f3. f3 directly proportional to sine of angle between f1 and f2. Right? What you can call from this? What is meaning of this? If three concurrent forces are in equilibrium, acting at a point, three coplanar concurrent forces are in equilibrium. What is meaning of this? Three concurrent coplanar forces are in equilibrium. Then magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. Magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. This we are calling Lami's theorem. Actually, Lami's theorem helps to find the complicated problems. Any problem we can give, using the Lami's theorem, we can calculate. Students here. Then what is the statement of Lami's theorem? Shall I take here? In what I can take directly? Shall I write here? What you got here from this one and this one? Look at me. Right? Shall I take the once again here? This is the one force. This is one force I can call. This force is nothing but F1 force. Right? This is what we are calling. This is the F2 force. Right? What about this force? This force we are calling F3 force. This we are calling F3 force. Right? In between F1 and F2, what about this angle? This angle alpha variable. What Lamy says? The magnitude of force F1 directly proportional to sine of angle between F2 and F3. If they are in equilibrium, condition. I mean, from the Lami's theorem, what I can call? F1 directly proportional to sine alpha. Right. Or F1 what I can call? F1 equal to K into sine alpha. K into sine alpha, equation number 1, right? Or from this K, what is K? K equal to F1 divided by sine alpha, right? F1 divided by sine alpha. Now I am calling this is equation number 1, right? Right, students? This is F2. In between F1 and F3, what angle available? Beta angle available. Are you following me? Then what Lami's theorem said that? the force F2 directly proportional to sine of angle between F2 and F3. How to write? F2 directly proportional to sine of angle beta, or F2 equal K into sine beta, right? Or what is K? What is K? K equal to how much? F2 divided by sine beta. F2 divided by sine beta, equation number 2, right? Similarly, this is F3. This is F3. In between F1 and F2, what angle available? Gamma angle available, right? Then what you can call from Lami's theorem? From Lami's theorem, F3 directly proportional to sine gamma. F3 directly proportional to sine gamma, right? Then again, what I can call? F3 equal to constant into sine gamma. Constant into sine gamma. Or what I can call? K equal to F3 divided by sine gamma. F3 divided by sine gamma. This is how much? Equation number 3. From equation 1, 2 and 3. Here K, here also K, here also K. What you can call directly from Lami's theorem? Shall I write Lami's theorem in this manner? What you can call? F1 divided by sine alpha equal to F2 divided by sine beta equal to F3 divided by sine gamma. Meaning of this is, if three forces are in equilibrium, three coplanar forces acting at a point, if they are in equilibrium, magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. This is the Lami's theorem. Shall I write the statement here now? Statement, how to write the Lami's theorem? Statement, look at here. Statement of Lami's theorem. Look at me. All the forces are lying in the same plane. They are coplanar forces. All the forces are acting at a point. They are concurrent forces, right? And all the forces are in equilibrium. Then only Lami's theorem valid. When Lami's theorem valid, all forces are coplanar. All forces are concurrent forces, and they must be in equilibrium. Then only Lami's theorem valid, students. Shall I write a statement here? How to write the statement? If 3 coplanar forces acting at a point, acting at a point, means they are concurrent forces acting at a point, are in equilibrium, then they are in equilibrium now. All are in equilibrium. Then magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. Magnitude of each force. Then magnitude of each force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. Sine of angle between two other forces. This we are calling Lami's theorem. See here, three forces, three coplanar. They are coplanar forces acting at a point or in equilibrium. Magnitude of any one force, either you can take this force directly proportional to sine of angle between this one and this one. Similarly, this force directly proportional to sine of angle between this one and this one. This force directly proportional to sine of angle between F1 and F3. This is what? The Lami's theorem. Then question is, find out Lami's theorem not applied to three vectors are in the same direction or in opposite direction. Shall I take here? Three vectors not like this. Now what manner? Three vectors are in same direction. What about this vector? This vector is f1, this vector is f2. What about this vector? This vector is f3 now. Why not it is valid? You know this equation. What about that? f1 divided by sin alpha, f2 divided by sin beta, f3 divided by sin gamma. Right? What about this? Sin gamma is there. Are you following, students? Then here. In between f1, f2 and f3, how much angle available? 0 degree available. Right or wrong? Then what happens here? If 0 is there, sin alpha, alpha means alpha, beta or gamma, whatever you can take. Alpha here, sin alpha, sin 0, 0. Any value by 0, infinity not defined. I mean directly shall I write? f1 divided by sin 0 equal to, or can take beta also, here no angle at all, equal to f2 divided by sin beta equal to f3 divided by sin gamma. If this is 0, sin 0, 0, any value by 0, infinity, then you can make all are 0. This in same direction. Similar in opposite in direction also not possible. Condition like this also not possible. When it is not possible, look at me here. Not like this now. Three vectors. If one vector is like this, f1 is there. Second vector is like this, f2 is there. Then what about third vector? Third vector how much shall I take? This is f3 now. f1 and f2. How they are? f1 and f2 mean what angle actually? The gamma angle. f1 and f2. How much angle? Gamma equal to how much? Gamma equal to 180 degree. Put here gamma equal to 180 degree. Actually what about this? This we are calling gamma. f3 by gamma. How to write here? Look at me. f3 divided by gamma. Gamma mean 180 equal to how much? f1 divided by sin alpha equal to f2 divided by sin beta. Right? Sin 180 is 0. Any value by 0, infinity. Infinity into some value, that becomes 0 only again. Then what you can write? Lami's theorem only apply for coplanar concurrent forces are in equilibrium. Then only the Lami's theorem valid. What it says? Magnitude of one force directly proportional to sine of angle between two other forces. This is what concern to triangle of addition of vector and Lami's theorem. After the students will see the parallelogram law of addition of vector in detail. Right? Thank you, students. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.